All right, we're discussing this Karen that spit on a customer, and we're talking about some demeaning things. And I talked about my brother in high school. A girl spit on him, and he was like, "Oh man, that was demeaning." And then Jason was like, "I have something demeaning I did one time. The most demeaning thing he's ever done."
Yes, it was pretty demeaning, and you know, I think I was at a point in time where I was just like, I see it being done, right? So it's like the norm. I know how it feels, and they're doing it to me too because I'm short. But I always had backup, like with the seniors that would get my back if anything happened.
Right.
I had a couple from the wrestling team, a couple of the seniors, anybody mess with me, you know.
Right.
So that gave me more leeway to do what I wanted.
Right.
But
Sure.
but
Hasn't changed. He now has senior management behind his back.
And maybe the mafia, but we're not sure. We're not sure.
More than likely the mafia. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I remember, you know, being a freshman, but it was late in the year, and a new kid came to school. And for some reason, the new kid, everybody gave hard times to the new kid, right? And I could see he was getting a little bit of hard time. So I thought, here's my target. He's already down. So
I thought you said you were going to help him.
Perfect.
and I was getting a lot of attention by the way I acted and like being cool, trying to be cool and being like, yeah, who's this loser? Blah, 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 blah. And I was constantly like picking on him a little bit, like nonstop. And then I remember we went to the school dance and the new kid was there.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Go ahead.
What was that?
You spit on the new kid at the school dance.
Did you? Is that what you did?
No.
No.
If that was, that would be like a horrible thing to do.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it'd be
Yes.
horrible for Squid to ruin his story.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
100%.
sorry.
No, it's worse than if he did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he was sitting there in the corner with like kind of like dorky kids, but he was trying to fit in. And I could see that there was some dorks around him. And he was on the verge of going to the dork group or becoming a cool kid, right?
Yeah.
But I was going to make sure he was going to be sent back to the dork kids because I was getting a lot of attention.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for some reason, doing my dances or whatever and trying to be popular and all that. And I'm like, oh, there he is. Watch this. There he is. And all of a sudden, I have one of my allergy attacks. And I'm like, oh. And I went right up to him. I'm like, watch this, everyone. I went, and sneezed while he was sitting down in front of all my friends behind me and spit all over and sneezed and loogied in his face. Hardcore.
Oh my
Hardcore. And he went up, and I remember the face, and he was sitting, and he looked at me like, did you really just do that? And I was like, everybody was like, laughing. I was like, yeah, woo. And I felt horrible after that. Deep down inside, I felt horrible. And I still do feel horrible about that because I know how it feels when people are doing that to you.
You were doing it to him because it was better him than you.
Yes.
Well, it was
right.
Well, no, it was because I was getting attention
Well,
and
that's what
trying
I'm
to
saying.
be with the popular
Right.
kids.
So you were on the verge of maybe being sent to the dorks.
No, not the
So to
dorks,
speak.
but like
Well, if
You were
he,
just
not the
solidifying.
super popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, and I look at
The
it now, and
goths.
I'm just like, why couldn't I have been a different kid and not have done that? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But anyways, that was my way of getting attention, and I did this to him, and then that happened, and then the next week later, we had a meet for a fight in the parking lot.
the two of you.
Yes.
Dork
Because
versus the
he was
popular
trying to get
kid.
attention. So we went to the
Okay.
parking lot. We got in a fight, and I think I punched him in the face a couple times. It wasn't a big deal. It was broken up right away. Because the fight, once you said you're going to get in a fight, like all the
Oh, the teachers find out.
Yeah.
right now, but by
Yeah.
the time we even started, it was like right away. And then this happened. So I was like, gosh. And then about a month later, we became really good friends, and with our group, and he became friends. He was always on the verge of different a little bit, but we had worked things out. We became really good friends, and he started dating a girl that was hot, and we became friends all through high school. And anyways, that happened, and now he's in rehab doing heroin.
Oh my
okay.
God.
Seriously?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Dang.
I don't like to
Wow.
blame other people for things,
Jeez.
but
What a
that's
twist.
definitely your fault.
You might have had a hand in that.
He actually became a local, regional celebrity in a band.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
like a American folk type band, but it drew a crowd. And so he would play at a festival, and it would draw us a significant amount of crowd, but then he got involved with drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So I
rough.
think he's probably out of rehab now and hopefully doing better. But then I saw an article that he got accused and arrested of doing something. but-
Oy.
yeah.
Do you think that you'd feel better if I was going to say call him to apologize now, like kind of clear your conscience and say I was really wrong to do it? But if we can't get him on the phone, what about writing him a letter.
I have reached out to him years ago in the past.
Because y'all
But you
became
gotta remember,
friends.
we
Yeah.
became friends.
We
so
became
it would
friends,
be
but-
kind of weird. Like,
But you still feel bad about it, so I think that
when
could be
I
a way
think
of.
about it, yeah. But if I
Did y'all ever talk about it? Like, hey, remember when I
I did that.
hocked a
I
loogie in
think
your
everybody
face?
was like, most of the friends I met is we got into a fight first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Huh.
So
That's why me and Jason are friends.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
at the time, so I don't.
Yeah.
It would be weird. Like now, it would be like, but I haven't seen him in so long, and things happen. So it's like that's probably the
You
least.
can have
different.
like
Okay.
Chat GPT do it for you. You don't even have to write it.
Oh yeah.
Just put it in some
That is
thing.
That's
true.
not.
Yeah.
Don't give. That's not the easy way out.
But that
It's
is
not.
terrible. Like
Yeah,
I
that's bad.
literally just sneezed as hard as I can in his face,
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
inches, and he just sat there because I had all my friends as a backup that he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
So when I see kids now, like if my son does something, or even if when somebody else's kids something like they stick up for the guy that's down,
Yes.
that makes
Yeah.
me so happy.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
and you're admitting it was bad. You're not like
Terrible.
saying, I was cool for doing that.
I mean, I still did things like that throughout the high school years.
It's so cool you did that, dude.
But it wasn't cool.
That wasn't cool. Katie's face, boy. If I
I
could
don't
only be
know.
inside her head, boy.
I only because now that I have children do I feel really saddened by that.
Yes, it is
Because I
sad. But
picture-
can you imagine your
yeah.
kid that
No,
somebody's
that's exactly
doing?
what I'm doing. I'm picturing it being my child who's being tormented by somebody like you.
And I'm thinking, and I'm hoping, I guess, that today's world, because things were culturally different then. It was very abrasive, and they didn't care about bullying in schools at all.
well,
Like
it's
literally, they didn't
different
care.
now because online bullying is to
Oh.
a whole different
that's
They
animal.
can't,
true,
they
too.
can't even escape it.
Yeah.
Well, they had a whole movie years ago, Nerds. The whole thing was like the popular people versus the nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all, it was always very divided. These are the nerds and these are the popular people.
And I'm sure bullying
The jocks.
does get overlooked a little bit here, but it was blatantly. I mean, even the wrestling team I told you, it was hardcore hazing
Yeah.
when you're
Oh,
on
yeah.
that team.
Which you also signed up for
I did.
when you
Yeah.
joined
Yeah.
a fraternity.
I did. Gotta get my protection from the seniors.
He's like, I'll take my first run with the broomstick. It's fine. I'll go first.
And the sheep.
that happened in college. So I guess it did continue for.
And then we did it with Torture Tuesday here for years. It never ends.
It doesn't.
Yeah, terrible.
Well, at least you shared it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that was probably one of my lowest moments.
Okay.
And the message is not to do it to others.
Absolutely not.
Right.
All right. Boy, that's Jason.
Unless you want to be cool.
I like the Friday morning crowd girls looking at me like you are a scumbag.
they're like, can we leave?
I know that.
You're admitting to it.
He knows it.